Hello friends. Some years ago there was no controversy. Gas heating was much cheaper than electric. However, times are changing, and although this might be true still in some places, in other places it has changed. On the other hand, fees can be different between municipalities, regions or states within the same country, due to transmission costs or depending on the gas supplier. For this reason, I wanted to verify if this still is true in the place where I live, Santiago, Chile, and in my specific case. Each country is a different story. In Chile, the fees vary by municipality. In other countries, it can vary by time of day. In others, renewables are dominant, and in others, homeowners cut fees with solar panels. Gas source can be natural gas or LPG. It can arrive through pipelines or in cylinders, and you can buy the cylinders through middlemen or directly, and each cost is different. For these reasons, the costs in my country might not work for you. But my method, based on thermal perception, might be useful for you to do your own assessment, because it's based on your personal experience. Now, I understand that those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, at this moment the least you're interested in is heating. But this might be useful for you for next winter. Let's go and see the video. The truth is, there are very good reasons to dump gas and adopt electric heating. We have climate change, where gas, just like petrol and car farts, are a real issue. And we have gas incidents, including poisoning and explosions. So, I bought an electric heater to verify if it really is more expensive, ensuring it provides a similar thermal comfort that I get from my gas heater. Usually I buy 5 or 6 cylinders of 5 kilograms LPG in the winter months. For a heater with one medium-sized ceramic plaque, that is about 14 by 11 centimeters. With this size plaque, putting it on and off occasionally, I can achieve a temperature of about 18 to 22 degrees Celsius in 1 or 2 rooms with 18 to 26 square meters, about 190 to 280 square feet, which is quite comfortable for me. And these last years, the temperatures for June haven't changed much. As someone who loves hot weather, this is quite pleasant, and I don't have to cover myself with so many clothes. Can I do the same with an electric heater? Let's see. This 5 kilogram LPG cylinder cost me 11,300 Chilean pesos, or equivalent to $12.3 when I bought it. 5 cylinders per month means I was spending 56,500 pesos, about $61.5. On May 16th, I bought this electric heater and I started using it instead of my gas heater. I chose this heater because one can vary the output so one can find the sweet spot when it's comfortable with, without having to put it on and off frequently. Additionally, it has an eco feature that saves electricity by keeping the temperature between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius. It also has a remote control so you can turn it on from inside your bed before you get up if it's much too cold. Let's see the maths. First, I examine my most recent light bills and the same season last year. Here I find the different costs I'm being charged. It details the amount of kilowatt hour I'm being charged and how much in pesos. Examining 3 months back, I find that the cost per kilowatt hour has not changed, and it's 114 pesos or 12 US cents per kilowatt hour, dividing the amount charged by the kilowatt hours used. I can also see that I'm charged other amounts, Some are constant and some vary with the amount of kilowatt hour used. I can also see that the readings made by the company don't cover the same number of days. But it's worse. The dates given for the readings are not real. If we compare this data with the readings on the electric meter, we'll notice that the readings are taken on any day, not the last day of the month. So we must go to the electric meter and take the readings ourselves. Other important information we might get from our bills are the cost of electricity transport, which is 12% of the kilowatt hour used in my case. I divide the cost of transport by the cost of kilowatt hour used and multiply that by 100. It is the same percentage every month. Administrative costs, which is constant. Electric meter rent and shared expenses, which change very little. And my usual consumption of electricity before using the electric heater. With this graph, I can see my kilowatt hour use throughout the year. If I compare 2 years in a row, I can estimate which would be my usual use of kilowatt hour for June. In my case, demand is quite constant, so I believe I can estimate that my usual use of electricity in June, without the electric heater, should be around 78 kilowatt hour for a 30-day period. If I subtract this value from my monthly use of electricity, including the electric heater, I will know exactly how much the heater is costing me, as it's the only new electric appliance in use. Let's follow the sequence of calculations. I plug in my heater and start it. This is my day 1, and I write down the reading from the meter. I put the heater on and off as necessary to keep the room at a temperature I feel gives me the same comfort the gas heater gave me. On day 30, I take the final reading in the meter. The difference between both readings gives me my full use of kilowatt hour for 30 days. If I subtract my usual demand of electricity, estimated at 78 kilowatt hour, I find the number of kilowatt hour used by the heater. And if I multiply this number by the cost of 1 kilowatt hour, 140 pesos or 12 cents, as I calculated before, I find the cost of having the electric heater on for 30 days with a thermal comfort similar to that given by the gas heater. Yes, I know, this is very subjective. However, our thermal perception can't change that much from 1 year or 1 month to the next. And the truth is that a few megajoules mean nothing to me compared to my comfort. Now, if we compare this cost with the cost of 5 gas cylinders, we can see that the cost of an electric heater is a bit above that of a gas heater. And that difference can be disregarded if we consider all the advantages of using electricity. However, I still haven't considered the other costs. My electric bill has another cost that changes when I increase my use of electricity, the transport of electricity. In my case, this cost is 12% of the kilowatts hours used. So, we have the cost of transport, which is 7,264 pesos, added to the heating, which is 60,534 pesos, for a total of 67,798 pesos. On the other hand, gas cylinders also have added costs I haven't included. If I get my gas refill myself from a retailer, I can save some costs. but it means time and transport cost. It means climbing 4 floors 5 times a month with 10 kilograms of bottle and gas. And there is a pollution cost. I can't calculate this last cost, but getting the gas bottles delivered to my 4th floor doorstep can cost over 12,500 pesos, with a monthly cost of 62,500 pesos. So, with these costs, I will be spending an excess of 5,298 pesos, the equivalent of $6 when using this electric heater. And this without considering all the advantages of an electric heater. Cleaner air, I don't have to call a gas fitter to do maintenance, no open windows, it dries the air, I can control it from my bed. Heaters that can be programmed are quite cheaper than similar gas systems, like a gas boiler or central heating. It helps with climate change, and its initial costs can be quite cheaper than a similar gas appliance. However, electric heaters also can have some disadvantages. They are slower in heating up a room, noticeably slower. So having a programmable heater that can turn on and off on its own is ideal, but can be more expensive. And if we have a blackout, it'll get very cold. So I must not get rid of my pet gas heater. Additionally, there is no guarantee that the price of the kilowatt hour of electricity or the kilogram of gas will not change tomorrow. In fact, this month, Chile has been warned by our politicians that our electric bills will bounce up about 20 or 60%. This increase is due to having frozen the fees in 2019. So it is a debt we have with electric companies that was stolen by Pinochet and given to his friends, private companies. This is something our politicians never fixed. And I say fixed because throughout this period of frozen fees, Enel Chile has enjoyed enormous profits. And one can't avoid asking, if they got such good profits, why do they need to charge more? If it was a public company, they wouldn't need to. So, 5 minutes ago, I was cheerfully dancing around because it was very convenient to change to electric. And now I'm being butchered. In my case, my electric bill should increase 20%. But if I keep on using the electric heater, my bill will fall into another price bracket where it will increase 45%. That is, instead of having to pay 67,798, I'll have to pay 98,287 pesos. And that's just for the heater. It does not include my usual use of electricity. In this case, a difference of 35,787 pesos makes changing the gas heater for electricity heater not viable. So, if you see a politician asking you for your vote, ask him what has he done to remove these public utilities from private hands. Well friends, that's it. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please remember, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.